both you and Chuck have had a strong reaction against pitching. And it seems like most sales training is built around pitches or presentations. Why is that approach fundamentally broken?
Again, depends on what you want to achieve. What kind of life and lifestyle do you want? Do you want what do you want at the end? And so instead of so when you pitch, there's not enough dialogue, there's not enough conversation, and so then you get the dreaded I need to think about it. And so when you just tell somebody like pitching, presenting, telling, there's a saying in when you're selling stuff, selling isn't telling, which means selling successfully isn't telling. Selling successfully is having a dialogue. Hey, asking questions, asking leading questions, because it doesn't matter what the answer to the question is. You already know where they're probably going to go, and you already know where you're going to go when they say that. But you want to be listening. You want to be just not listening, but you really want to be really engaged in what they're saying. Like really have your mind on them and the conversation you're having. So that you can it's a good question, or it's a good conversation. You ever have a conversation with somebody on the phone and they're not paying attention?
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And you go, well, and that's how like when you pitch somebody too, their brain goes just starts shutting off, or they get distracted and they go they don't even hear what you're saying. They miss a lot of what you're saying if you're just pitching, or if you're just pitching, if you're just presenting, or if you're just saying a script, or if you're just saying a script too. Hey, does that make sense, Mrs. Gonzalez? Uh-huh, yeah, okay. And so you're just waiting for them to answer, or for them to say no, because then you go, oh, okay, she said no at this part. Now my script is going to say, it's going to pop up and go, okay, here's a couple different things that I can read. Okay, Mrs. That makes sense to, it's like, just that's, I know I'm exaggerating a little bit, but
Hmm.
you've heard it on the phone, and you go, gosh, this could go a lot better if you just be engaged with me. Just,
Hmm.
like, what am I trying to accomplish here? Where am I trying to go? And so if you ask those questions, and ask the right question to understand what I'm trying to get, I'm going to my perception is going to be, man, they're really helpful. Like they're
Hmm.
really asking the right sort of questions. They go, oh man, let's check this out. Do you like this one or this one better? Okay, you want that. Okay, what about this? What makes more sense for you? Does it so it's just leading. It's leading. And then at the end also, uh, uh when we come down to, well, what do you think makes more sense? Does what worked better for you? Does this one or that one? Oh, because then I've been engaged the whole way, and and at the end I'm also engaged, and I feel like I've been involved. I didn't get sold. I bought. Right.
Hmm.
There's a big difference. So when you engage with people, they feel more involved. When you have a
Hmm.
conversation with them, they're clearly involved in the conversation. And if it doesn't feel like a contrived conversation, they feel even better about it. And so you
Hmm.
want them to feel good, like, oh man, this person is helping me find what matters most to me, rather than just trying to sell me a TV or insurance, or whatever they're trying to sell me.
Hmm.
That's why it's a huge difference, and you've probably experienced it, being pitched versus a conversation. And you can probably remember a time that you've had a decent conversation, you bought something and it felt good,
Hmm.
and right. So
Yeah.
uh, versus the other way, we hate that. So, but they keep teaching it, not because it's the right thing to do, but you can teach it to a monkey. So hey, let's hire a troop of monkeys and give them a script, and you know those that don't work, they're not probably not going to be back tomorrow.
Hmm.
But a couple monkeys work. It's like you can teach it to the least common denominator, and then you can send it to some third world nation, and they can say it too, and in a different, hopefully they can speak English and say the same thing. That's there you go. And
So
then
when
so
when
here, so you can contrast that or compare that, right?
yeah.
So now, if you're the pitchy presenting sort of person, you're up against people who make $3 a week, in some third world nation, who can say the same thing that you can say. Is that
Hmm.
does that So now, are you going to get free doing that? Probably not. You might want to get a one-way ticket to, you know, wherever that is, the third world nation where you're going to make $3 a week, because that's about what, that's the value you're providing. So go over
Hmm.
there, live there. Now you can pitch all you want.
When would a pitch, like a prepared pitch, be appropriate?
Well, do you want fries with that drink? You know, you've got 1,000 people in line and they don't want to have a conversation, right? Look, the
Hmm.
football game is, look, I've been standing in line for 18 minutes and the game is kicking off. I don't want to have a conversation about seasoning salt and the kind of fries that these are. Give me the f***ing fries,
Yeah.
So when that kind of thing, I would say is the only time that but so there it is, right? It's designed also that anybody can push the buttons. You ever see the cash registers these days, like at a place
Hmm.
like that? They have pictures, because well, they might not read,
Yeah.
so you know uh, and certainly the numbers don't make sense, like the old fashioned cash registers where you have to, okay, that's $3.95. I remember grocery stores like that. They'd go through and there's a price tag, before they could scan. You have to got to get that stuff right. You got to hit the right numbers. And today it's like, as long as you can hit the thing that looks like a cheeseburger, we're good. And you get your cheeseburger fries and you pay $80 and go back and watch the football game. I think that's where, like, where else, like in anything other than that, things get a little more customized. And I know I'm
Hmm.
probably missing something in there, another example, but but yeah, I'm just thinking around here. I go, well, if somebody wanted, if I was talking to somebody about painting my house or this condo, um, they aren't just gonna. It's that's gonna be a conversation. There's no pitch involved. Of course, what painters ever used to pitch. When would a pitch be? It's got to be something where it's just really fast.
Hmm.
It's got to be really fast and nobody really cares. The person standing in front of you is buying. It's just, do I want red or blue? Do you want the
Hmm.
red one? You want the blue one? You want cheese? You want a burger? You want cheese on that? Yes. Okay. Hit the cheese button. Do you want fries with that? Yeah. And that prompts you. Ask them if
Hmm.
they want fries. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Fries. I'll take fries. Do you want? Yeah. You want a Coke, or you want a drink to go with that? Or what kind of drink do you want? Lead them.
Hmm.
What kind of drink do you want with that? We've got Sprite, root beer, blah 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 blah. I want Sprite. Okay, good. You know, Anything else? No. That's $80. And there you go. So I would say that's about it. Other, it's got to be. They have to be buyers already. They have to be buyers
Hmm.
with money in their hand. They just give me what you have. Because even like if you go into Best Buy or something like that, and I want a TV. I don't know anything about TVs. You
Hmm.
know, and maybe they would ask me. I go, what do you know about TV? I mean, what are you looking for? What do you know about TVs? How do you
Hmm.
decide Best Buy? Okay, got it. Okay. And then so now you can go, okay, well, when you're watching, are you up close? Are you sitting
Hmm.
back? How far from your TV are you? Is it above a fireplace? Is it not? Okay. Is this kind of thing important to you, or this? How much, you know, so so is- if I'm just standing in line at Best Buy with the TV and they go, "Hey, do you want a warranty with that?" No. That's a place for a script.